Einen wunderschönen Willkommen zum heutigen Abend. Willkommen zu einem recht neuen Spiel, nahezu frisch rausgekommen, von Grundeslav Games. Wir kennen den Spieleentwickler von Lamplight City. Wer es nicht kennt oder sich nicht mehr erinnern kann, ne, einfach nachgucken. Und zwar willkommen zu Rosewater, seinem neuesten Werk. Frisch gestartet, ich habe es noch nicht angefangen, deswegen werden wir mal hier alles umstellen, was wir umstellen müssen und vielleicht einstellen, was wir einstellen müssen. Mal schauen, dynamische Schatten an, Untertitel an, ist logisch. Ja, das war zu überraschen. Spaß.
Boarded the 743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space. Much has been said about the western frontier. The perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it. The thoughts in my head are running together like the landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur. One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene. Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jim. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Leger.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Leger?
Okay, geht schon los. Ich bin auf der Durchreise, ich bin wegen einer Anstellung hier, das geht hier nicht an.
Miss. And I'm here about a job.
Planning on sticking around, huh? Say, what line of work are you in?
If you must know, well, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl.
Aber ich habe nie so viel gehört wie du, aber ich war nie so dämlich.
But I at least had some brains. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about. Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office?
Ich habe keine Ahnung. So, gehen, Interaktion, Linksklick, Doppelklick, springt direkt zum Ziel, das ist gut. Inventar, Rechtsklick oder I drücken. Menü, Escape, oberen Bildschirm und Werktanzeigen 0. Oder mittlere Maustaste gedrückt halten. Das heißt, Doppelklick ist nichts mit Springen, wahrscheinlich Doppelklick am Rand hier, ne? Und das Spiel hält auch noch an. Oh, ist das ein Traum.
So they do have the law here, in theory at least.
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Leger, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
Okay.
End of the line. Until they connect it up from the coast, anyway.
Was heißt das? Panzerschloss. Kein Schlüssel für mich, dreh den Haken frei. Vorhängeschlosser, wackel mit dem Schlüssel, um mit dem Spaß zu beginnen. Und nimm dann die Schlange und mach es lange. Lange richtig. Tote Bolzen, spanne den Schlüssel und wähle die Schlange, lass rosten, während du es schüttelst. Zylinderschloss. Der Schlüssel bleibt ruhig, der Diamant leuchtet, dreht sich einmal nach oben und dreimal nach unten. An Bord des WV Express. Ich nahm den 7:43 von Pierre Lorraine nach Rosewater, Westen Vespuccias. Kein nennenswertes Gepäck, wörtlich nur... Ach, das war das Intro. Ich bin reif für ein Tapet. Die staubigen Straßen von Rosewater. Ist doch überall dasselbe mit den Leuten. Faul, habgierig und doppelzüngig. Ich bin noch keine 10 Minuten in dieser Stadt und fühle mich schon wie zu Hause. Ein paar Straßenjungs nutzen die verlassene Dorfstraße, um Neuankömmlinge zu belästigen und zu schröpfen, und das direkt von dem Büro des Sheriffs. Ein Gauner namens Jem, selbsternannter Gästebegrüßer, führt ein wahrhaftiges Theater auf, während sein junger Kumpan, der weder besonders fingerfertig noch abgebrüht ist, unbeholfen versucht, das Opfer um seine Wertsachen zu erleichtern. Das Opfer bin in diesem Fall ich. Der Ablenker macht sich rar, und ich verscheuchte den Taschendieb schließlich mit einer strengen Verwarnung. Ich frage mich, ob ich zu nachsichtig war. Vielleicht wäre es gut gewesen, dem stümperhaften Anfänger zu zeigen, wie erbärmlich dieser Weg sein kann, bevor er ihn zu weit gegangen ist. Ich kann nicht sagen, dass es ein Teil von mir nicht gereizt hätte. Den alten Impulsen kann man nur schwer widerstehen. Hätte eine barmherzige Seele den Anstand und die Rücksicht gehabt, mir in diesem zarten Alter die Augen blau zu kloppen und die Knochen zu brechen, um mich für ein für alle Mal in die Arme der Tugend zurückzuschrecken, welchen vernünftigeren Weg hätte mein Leben nehmen können? 20 Kronen haben wir. Wir gehen mal zum Sheriff.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat. I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Leger.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or...
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
Ja, komm.
I can't say much for the welcoming committee.
Beg pardon?
I wasn't in your town but 2 minutes when I was accosted by a pair of gutter snipes. They should thank their lucky stars I was in a good mood.
I keep telling Jim to stop with that town greeter malarkey, but that boy's got a head harder than granite. I've been too soft. I ought to throw him in lockup until he gets his head on straight.
Trust me, that'll only make things worse. Besides, I don't think they've yet written a statute outlawing vexatiousness.
You've a forgiving nature, Miss Leger. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. If you run into any more trouble, come and see me.
Ja, was mir auffällt, ist, es ist wunderbar animiert.
I wouldn't have figured the sheriff for a naturalist. Fancy yourself a lepidopterist?
Ha! Hardly. Picked that display up from a passing rag and bone man. But I like when the sun shines on their wings just so. Real thing of beauty.
A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so uncivilized after all. Does this license mean you went to sheriff's school?
No, it means I was officially elected to the position by the people of this town. The paper is really just a formality.
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below. A plain leather bag. Wonder what's inside. What's in the bag?
Oh, that's a set of lockpicks I confiscated from a would-be burglar.
Brauche ich.
I can't just swipe these from right under his nose. Looks like a pretty rough sort. This fellow still at large?
Yep, but I reckon he's left the province.
Warte mal, wie war das? Oh, ne? Jawohl.
What a peculiar decoration. Hey, Sheriff?
Miss Leger?
Why have you got a horseshoe hanging above the door?
Ah, glad you asked. My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil. The devil asked the smith to make him a horseshoe for his own hoofed feet, you see. So the blacksmith took a red-hot horseshoe and nailed it straight onto one of his hooves. The devil howled out in pain. He begged the blacksmith to take it off again. The smith agreed, but on one condition. The devil must always respect the horseshoe and never enter any place where one is hung above the door. Hell of a story, wouldn't you say?
Okay.
Doesn't look too comfy, but I guess that's the point. Does this cell see much use?
Nah, not really. But that's fine by me. The less I have to clean out that pot, the better.
Those are some stern-looking ladies. Hey, Sheriff?
What's on your mind?
Who are the people in this photo?
Those are my sisters, Lord bless them. Mary was always my favorite. The trouble we used to get into when we was kids. Beulah's a real firebrand. She'd smack you across the face soon as look at you. She did to me plenty. Irma's a real sweetheart. Don't think I ever met a kinder soul. I hope she's doing well.
Da ist aber 5 drauf.
Not a bad view. Hey, Sheriff?
Yes, ma'am?
What's this photo of?
That's a view of Colchester, where I grew up. The winters were so cold, people's sentences would hang in the air for days. It ain't exactly a metropolis, but it's got character. All things considered, I still do miss the place.
Okay. Dann haben wir... Oh, Waffe.
Impressive collection. Hey, Sheriff?
What's on your mind?
What's the story with these guns?
Now these are standard issue repeaters, pretty powerful rifles. Thankfully, I've yet to use one in the line of duty. Wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of these.
Okay, weiter keine Info und raus. Ich guck mal kurz. Oder auch nicht.
I hope that isn't the town water supply.
Bestimmt nicht.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles.
Ich glaube, das wird wir dann knacken, wenn wir schon irgendwas mit Dietrich und so weiter
Soft
haben.
drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to beat the heat. Nothing inside but a colony of ants. Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla.
Musician, hier ist der Doktor.
Can't be a
Ah,
good sign
Dante.
when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies.
Ja, ein Wild West Adventure. Von den Machern, oder von dem Macher muss man sagen, weil es fast ein Solo-Projekt ist, von dem auch Lamplight City kommt.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
Just arrived in town. Name's Harley Leger. And you're Dr. Sedgwick?
At your service. Welcome to Rosewater and to my clinic. Anything in particular ailing you today?
I could use something cool to drink. It's hot as blazes, and I am this close to having a conniption.
You'll want to visit the Jack of Diamonds at the end of the thoroughfare. My stock doesn't offer much in the way of refreshment, I'm afraid.
Wouldn't expect to hear a doctor prescribing a visit to the saloon.
A sarsaparilla or weak beer, drunk in moderation, can be a perfectly healthful and thirst-quenching beverage. I'd recommend it over water in any case.
Ja, wer weiß, wie das Wasser ist, ne?
That's impressively clean.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and good health starts with good hygiene.
I imagine you get your hands pretty dirty in this line of work?
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of tiny animalcules living on the surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastards, huh?
Something like that.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
Got any knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good.
Okay.
Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Leger. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will. I know where I stand on the matter.
Why not train somebody to take over for you?
I did have an apprentice not long ago, my ward, Nadine.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no kind of life for a restless young person. I encouraged her to put her talents to use elsewhere. She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
Okay.
Who is this tribe?
I'm afraid I don't know much about them, just that they have a small village somewhere in the valley. I believe they call themselves the Audam? Autumn? I'm not certain of the pronunciation. At any rate, they don't come to the town, and I imagine the townsfolk mostly let them be as well.
You must know all about the townsfolk.
I am well acquainted with all their ailments, proclivities, and vices, but if you're just seeking gossip, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
So, how's the medicine business?
What a question! I'm a physician, Miss Leger, not some two-bit snake oil salesman.
Didn't mean to imply you were.
I'm sure. At any rate, I've not had many patients of late. But that is the physician's dilemma, is it not? We are taught that idleness is a sin. But better that I am idle and the townsfolk healthy than my surgery be full of the ill and infirm.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Okay. Doppelklick funktioniert gut. Haben wir noch irgendwas? Nee. Ah, hier ist der Ort.
This is the place.
Oh! Ignorieren und Büro betreten.
Holy hell! Are you all right, mister? Don't you move. I'll fetch the doctor to have a look at you. Doc, come quick. I've got an emergency.
How can I be of service?
Some poor fool's just fallen out a window.
At the Rosewater Post?
Yes. How did you...
Sounds like Joni's in a mood again. Let's go.
Here he is, poor bastard.
Oh, dear. Hello? Can you hear me? I'm Dr. Sedgwick. I'm here to help you. Can you move your legs? Spine seems intact. No obvious fractures of the arms or legs. That, I would say, is nothing short of a miracle. Right. He's in a bad way, but he'll live.
Okay.
I'll get him back to my clinic and patch him up. You are truly a good Samaritan, Miss Leger.
It was nothing. If you'll excuse me, I have an appointment to keep.
Of course. God bless.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Leger. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please? Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Okay, Autosaving. Aber wir haben auch manuelles Save.
Cozy. That cabinet's better organized than I'll ever be.
Mhm. Ja, aber hoch. Oha.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Leger.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Ausweichen.
With all due respect, I prefer to let my writing speak for itself.
Fair enough. Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. Haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself.
Lamplight City.
Descriptions of the Toffs in Lyon. Hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
Also bewegt sich das im selben Universum.
I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, I can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Well, I'll be. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Pull the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. A star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
Okay.
So, who is the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see. The Rosewater Post reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I've still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Der Pavillon zum Thema Ätherizität auf der Weltausstellung in New Bretagne, Kingsland, wurde am vergangenen Samstag Schauplatz einer erschütternden Katastrophe, die 15 Menschenleben forderte. Während einer Vorführung des Ätherizitätsforschers Dr. Bennett Clark versagte ein Ätherizitätsgenerator genanntes Gerät und setzte einen Energiestoß frei, der das Publikum traf, wobei 14 Zuschauer sowie ein Assistent augenblicklich verdampften. Ein Augenzeuge schilderte der New Bretagne Gazette den Hergang wie folgt: Das Ding setzte mit einem gewaltigen Knattern ein, das die Damen unter den Anwesenden erschreckte und einiges an aufgeregtem Geschrei hervorrief. Im nächsten Augenblick war da ein blendender Lichtblitz. Danach hörte man nur noch Schreie und es gab einen fürchterlichen Brandgeruch. Von da, wo ich stand, konnte ich sehen, dass eine Gruppe von Leuten, die auf der einen Seite des Apparats versammelt war, einfach verschwunden war. Alles, was übrig blieb, waren Schuhe und Hüte und dergleichen, zusammen mit einem Haufen Asche. Und das Schrecklichste war, dass ihre Schatten oft an der Wand dahinter zu sehen waren. Der in der Fachwelt umstrittene Dr. Clark vertritt neue Theorien zur Existenz der Ätherizität, einer angeblich unerschöpflichen Energiequelle in der oberen Atmosphäre. Der Pavillon zum Thema Ätherizität, eine Ausstellung, die gemeinsam von Kessling Industries Harmon und Grove und Eastern Consolidated Coal gesponsert wurde, sollte das Potenzial der Technologie einem weiteren Publikum präsentieren, obwohl der Enthusiasmus der Öffentlichkeit nach den Ereignissen der letzten Wochenendes etwas gedämmt sein könnte. Dr. Clark wurde von den Behörden verhört, aber es bleibt abzuwarten, ob er oder seiner Sponsoren rechtlich für die Todesopfer des Unfalls verantwortlich gemacht werden kann. Gilroy-Mine wird geschlossen. Das Silas Gilroy gab am Freitag bekannt, dass seine Aurum-Mine Ende des Monats den Betrieb einstellen wird. Dies ist die dritte große Minenschließung im vergangenen Jahr, zusätzlich zu den vielen kleineren Claims, die konsolidiert und billig verkauft oder aufgegeben wurden. Wie jeder andere Schürfer, der sich hier verirrt hat, war ich voller Hoffnung, nachdem die ersten Ergebnisse so gut waren. Aber es gab keine tieferen Adern, sagte Mr. Gilroy. Es ist alles nur Schein und Sein, und kein Sein. Die Schließung der Mine ist ein weiterer Rückschlag für Rosewater, denn damit wären über 40 Männer arbeitslos. Okay, Premierminister Harley Leger hat nicht lange gezögert, die Katastrophe der Lamplight City Expo zu kritisieren und das Parlament aufgefordert, ein Verbot der Ätherizität-Forschung zu verhängen. Trotz des vorhersehbaren Widerstands des Edward-Flügels könnten die Abgeordneten nach der Katastrophe empfänglicher für Leroys Vorschläge sein. Es wird erwartet, dass in den kommenden Wochen eine Abstimmung stattfinden wird. Der Befürworter von Clarks Forschung bestehen darauf, dass ein einzelner Vorfall den potenziellen Nutzen der Ätherizität nicht in Frage stellt, aber die öffentliche Meinung könnte zugunsten des Verbots kippen.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
Any insight you can give me about the town?
It's a far cry from what it used to be. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the saloon at all hours, but, oh, I don't know. Folk who moved on took some of the charm with them.
What about the folks who stayed behind?
What about him?
Keine Ahnung.
I was hoping for more details.
Far as you're concerned, the only person in Rosewater worth knowing right now is Jake Ackerman. If you're so keen to know about the rest, go meet him for yourself.
I'm curious, how did the Rosewater Post get its start?
Well, my dad was a union man. He worked the printing press for the Allied Fall Creek Miners Cooperative. Pamphlets, labour news, that sort of thing. Then the mine owners brought the Blackburns in to bust the whole operation up. My dad was laid up for months and could never work again after. But we still had to eat, didn't we? I took all the equipment from the old shop and started printing up an early version of the Post just to bring a little money in. At first, it was all just community notices and advertisements from local stores. Over time, I got the hang of the whole journalism thing and turned it into a real newspaper.
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but couldn't I write about something else? My style's more observational than, talking to people. I don't know that that's really my strong suit.
We're talking, aren't we? If you want to write for this paper, you're simply going to have to stretch yourself beyond what you might be accustomed to. Besides, it's not as if you have to say anything particularly brilliant. Just get your subject talking and take notes. Finish this assignment and maybe the next one will be more to your liking.
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are. Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
Okay, sie war Boxner. So.
Fascinating device.
Isn't it just? To think, I can send messages from here to Bright Bay with the press of a lever.
What will they think of next? Hey, that's Devil's Tooth. I passed it on the train right here.
Quite a sight, isn't it?
Nice typewriter.
A first. Good old Sheldon Model 4.
The New Bretagne Gazette. Keeping tabs on the competition?
Hardly. I kept that issue because they mentioned my paper.
You support Leroy?
I'm a proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitus, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. Is this the first edition of the Rosewater Post?
Yep, March 30th, 1845. One of the best days of my life.
That's quite a stick.
A memento from my grandfather, back in County Donegal. Comes in handy now and again.
Sie ist ihren. Donegal. Da war ich. County Donegal und daneben ist Sligo. Das Leger.
I hope fixing that window won't be too expensive.
I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze.
See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire Harley, writing for my paper.
Ja, ich habe da nicht so ganz aufgepasst, JP.
I don't that just beat all.
Aber ja,